So for the overall evaluation of how Haney provides feedback is broken up into the frequency, which is based on technique, and Haney uses the faded technique and the bandwidth technique. The timing, Haney gives instant feedback. The use of devices, he uses such examples such as the golf swing device to help Barkley with his tempo, his rhythm of his golf swing.
I had Charles wear the headphones, and I made the sound. Listen to the sound. Good. Square your left hand.
The benefit of the golf swing is that it provides an external focus. The negative effect is the dependency on the device. He also uses a computer image to show Barkley where his swing should be.
Right now should be
over there?
right there.
Wow. Well, there's no way you can hit it. It's right by my ear.
For the content of feedback, Haney uses mostly the internal focus of attention. For example, the head position, the hand grip. He also interferes with Barkley by putting his hand on his head.
I'm not going to let him have a failure on the golf course. If I have to hold his head on every shot, I will hold his head on every shot.
The benefit of Haney's hand on Barkley's head orients him to proper positioning. The negative effect is that Barkley won't have Haney's hand on his head during the game. There are a few things Haney should be doing to provide proper feedback. Under frequency, he should be using learner-controlled feedback, but more specifically self-controlled feedback instead of the faded or bandwidth technique. Because research has shown the more independent the learner is, the better they learn. Also, if they ask questions when they need help, rather than getting help whenever the instructor feels like saying something to them, they improve their learning of the skill. As far as timing, instead of giving instant feedback, it's better to let more time go by. When there's too much instruction at the beginning, Barkley becomes reliant on Haney's instruction and presence and doesn't become independent. Haney's use of the golf swing device and the computer image sets Barkley up for too much dependency on the device. Haney needs to use it only to confirm or orient tasks' intrinsic feedback. As far as the content of feedback, from what we learned in class, Haney should be using more external focus of attention rather than internal, since that is what research has said has improved learning.
Haney provides his feedback immediately after the swing or during the swing phase. And in order for Barkley to adapt the techniques being taught, Haney needs to provide a time, as you can see in the chart here, a delay interval in which to give the feedback in order for Barkley to correctly understand and also learn for himself. So there needs to be a longer trial and error period through this response, and you'll see this in the clip here.
Do it again. Up over your head. 2 o'clock, eyes toward me. Hold on, whoa, 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 whoa. You took it up, then you let it back down. Up with the club, hit it. Good, keep your grip on there the whole time.
Some other things you'll notice is during the verbal instructions, Haney provides a great deal of internal cues by him saying keeping your head down, keep a tight grip, and keep the club up over your head. And he needs to focus more on the external versus the internal. Some things that should keep the same is the demonstration that he shows Barkley is effective, as well as the rhythm device used with a limited capacity. Some things to change is he needs to allow the learner to adapt the techniques. So therefore, he needs to provide the feedback after the completion of the motor skill.
The average person could not come out here and hit this many golf balls.
For you.
Hank said they could after 150 balls. Charles has hit 1,000 balls.
So in the practice design, we have practice variability, in which Barkley practices 3 different skills in driving, chipping, and putting. And the contextual interference in most of the time is done in a block schedule in which he's repeating the same task numerous amounts of times, and this can be observed directly when he's driving the ball, as was mentioned in the clip, thousand plus times, just repeatedly over and over. What needs to be changed is the sequence. So he does driving, chipping, putting, and repeats the sequence driving, chipping, putting in order to create a higher CI for learning. The overall feedback of the practice sessions is that Haney gives Barkley a great deal of augmented feedback. When he needs to be letting Barkley use more of an intrinsic feedback to have more of a discovery learning process in order to enable him to correct some of the habits that he has. The main things that he did focus on that were beneficial is he focused on three main goals of that: correcting the hitch, the flatten the club, and keeping the head in line. And this provided a clear, concise goal in order to show progress through the practice sessions.